Hello, all my friends. Welcome back, or welcome to the channel. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. My name is T, and this is my channel, Compassing and Sewing. I also go by that handle over on Instagram as well. I'll put my Instagram link in the description box below so you can go check me out. All right, so in today's video, I am going to be doing a pattern review of the Color Block Pencil Skirt by So Easy. I'll make sure that I put their information in the description box below so you can go over and check out this beautiful pencil skirt pattern. It really is a beautiful pattern. It's for beginners and it's very easy. It's rated as beginner friendly. I want to warn you though, before you go over to the site and try to download this pattern, I do want to put a word of caution in here, and that is that the pattern is incomplete. So the pattern, the main pattern piece is for the skirt front and the skirt back, and that's what you're going to be downloading, and it is a 4-page pattern that you're going to tape together. And so if you are new to working with PDF patterns, this is a beautiful pattern to work with because you only have 4 pages to tape together. However, you do have to self-draft the side panel, which is very easy. The side panel is based off of your hip measurements, and the size for this pattern, the sizes come for the hips but not for the waist. So you will need to go ahead and measure the waist area and make sure that that's where whatever size you're choosing for the hips is the same size that you want to choose for the waist. If not, you can always grade, because this pattern comes in sizes from 34 to 50 inches for the hips. So you do have quite a bit of room to grade in between sizes if you want to. Now, in order to self-draft your rectangle piece for your side panels, you're going to base that off of your hip measurements, and they have a chart listed on the pattern that actually tells you how many inches in width you're going to add for your side panels based on the size that you choose for the pattern. I made 3 skirts. This pattern calls for ponte knit, and all of my skirts fell within that category. I would not recommend this pattern for jersey knits or slinky knits, you know, anything that doesn't have as much recovery. A really good structured knit, such as a ponte knit that has really great, excellent recovery, that's maybe 25% stretch on the cross grain or less, I think is going to be the best choice for this particular project. The skirt is a little bit loose at the bottom near the lower thigh area and the knee area. However, the pattern instructions do have it does have some instructions on the pattern to tell you how to taper that in if you would like to have it tapered in, if you don't like your pencil skirt so loose at the bottom. I didn't really mind it, so I just left it. I did choose 2 sizes for this project. The first size that I chose was the 42 inches for the hips, because my hips measure at around 41.5 inches. And depending on what kind of ponte you have will determine how much negative ease you're going to have in the pattern. And although this pattern does have negative ease, like I said, it's just going to depend on what kind of fabric you're working with. And so for the first project, I decided not to select the size down, because usually I would select the next size down from my hip measurements in order to accommodate for the knit of the fabric. I didn't do that. I actually selected the 42 instead of going down to the 40. And I found that it was a little bit too loose in the hip area, more than I like. So I decided to go down to the size 40. So the size 42 is the burgundy skirt that I made, and I'll put a image here or a video here so you can actually see what that looks like. That one is a size 42. I did make some changes and and I made additional pattern pieces for this one just to accommodate my own personal style and taste. The pattern is about 27 to 28 inches in length. And so if you are about 5'3" or 5'5", that's gonna sit around the knee area. For me, since I'm only 4'11" or 5 inches, or not 5 inches, 5 foot, that length actually passed my knee by an inch or two. So I didn't change it though, and I decided I'm just gonna go ahead and keep it. I actually like it, and I don't really like showing my knees all that much anyway, and so I kept the length of the skirt instead of shortening the skirt. And I did that with all 3 of my versions. The pattern has a 1-inch hem. I kept that as well, and I'll show you what that looks like as well. The pattern also calls for a 1-inch wide elastic. Now for me, I wanted to make this optional, and that's where I made the changes and included an additional pattern piece. I actually made a facing for 2 of my skirts, for the burgundy and for the black and white polka dot skirt. Those 2 skirts have self-facings in them. So I just basically drafted a piece for the self-facing, and I understitched that facing in place, and then also tacked it in place in the side seams as well, so that the waistband or the facing doesn't flip out. And I'll show you in video here because I feel a little tongue-tied right now. But that's what I did for the burgundy skirt and also the black and white polka dot skirt. For the black skirt, I actually put an elastic band inside of it. And it does offer a little bit more support, and it is a little bit better, but I really don't like elastic bands a lot. And so that's why I went and I did the facing part of it. But in order to do something like that, you really need to have your fabric, for one, need to be really structured. So you have to have a really nice structured ponte knit. And then also you want to make sure that you get your waist size accurate. You want it to be perfect, to where it's not falling down. And so I did have to make accommodations for that and make sure that the size of the waist was a little bit more tapered in, so that I can actually get that fit that I like. So let's talk about the fabric choices that I made. So for the first project, I decided to go with a burgundy ponte knit that I had in my stash. And this is a ponte stretch crepe fabric that I actually purchased from Joann Fabrics a few years ago. And I'm really excited that I've had the opportunity to actually use this. It offers really great stretch and recovery. It's one of those fabrics that I suggested that it's about 25% stretch on the cross grain. It doesn't have a ton of stretch, but it's really nice and it stretches to your form. And I didn't have to worry about putting an elastic inside the waist of this. And that's one of the reasons why I omitted the elastic and actually put the self-facing that I drafted inside of the garment, because it offers a lot of structure and stability. So that's one of the reasons why I selected that one. You'll see me wearing this snakeskin shirt with it. And this shirt, it was made with the Silene Tee by Glasshouse Patterns, and I'll put that information in the description box below as well. If you sign up for their newsletter, then you get a free copy of the Silene Tee, and this is what is paired with the burgundy and also the black pencil skirt here. Now that particular pattern, I did a pattern review of it. I've made it 6 times, and so if you're interested in learning more about that particular pattern, I'll put an iCard here in the video, and you could go over and check that video out and learn more about this particular shirt. For the black skirt that I made, it's also a ponte knit, and I purchased this one from fabrics.com, and I also purchased this a long time ago, so you're not gonna find this one in stores either. But this particular ponte knit, it has a little bit more stretch than the burgundy fabric, but it's not as structured. And so I decided to put an elastic band in this one and follow the instructions to put the elastic band. And so I did put the elastic band in this one, and I really love it. And all of these 3 skirts that I've made, they fall a little bit below my knee, about an inch and a half below my knee. However, if you are 5'5", 5'3", then expect that it will be above your knee, that the skirt will probably fall above your knee. The last fabric that I used for this project is the black and white polka dot ponte fabric, and that was a remnant that I purchased from Joann Fabrics. I'm very unimpressed with that particular fabric. That fabric is sold at a retail price of $19.99. Now that's before any kind of discounts or coupons or anything like that. And for the price, I didn't pay that price because, like I said, I got it out of the remnant section, and for this project you only need 1 yard of fabric, and that particular piece was 1 yard, and I purchased, I think I purchased it for maybe $3, $4 or something like that. It wasn't expensive at all, and I thought I was getting just this amazing deal off of this fabric that's very expensive. However, the fabric is just like, so I brought it home and I washed it, because I wash all my fabrics before I sew with them, especially if they're cotton. When I wash the fabric, and I always wash my fabrics on delicate, no matter what I'm working with, I always use a delicate cycle. That fabric, it faded. You have the little cotton peels that's starting to form on the skirt. I'm just very unimpressed. The fabric is just not what I actually thought that it would be. So although I'm unimpressed with the fabric, the actual structure of the fabric, the durability of the fabric is holding up, but the color, it's faded, it's starting to peel, and that was just 1 wash. And so I just really did not like the fabric, but the project did turn out okay. That's like my least favorite one, only because the fabric has faded and I'm really unimpressed with it. So, and I'm really happy that I got that piece from a remnant, from the remnant section for only $3 or $4, because I would have been really upset about that. But again, it's a very easy pattern. I highly recommend it. Very great in terms of generous sizes that it offers. Really great detailed instructions. You only have to print out 4 pattern pieces and then draft your side panels, which is really easy. And with all that said, I do recommend this pattern. I'll put all the information about this pattern in the description box below. And again, I'll also put the video of the Silene Tee, which I'm wearing right here, in the video, and as well as in the description box below as well. And if you have any questions or comments about this particular pattern, make sure that you go ahead and comment below. And then also just comment below anyway, drop me a few lines, tell me how you're doing, and also tell me which one of these skirts you like. And what do you think of the pattern? All right, until next time, everyone. Bye.